It is another windy and a warm day out there, record-setting for some of us. Now the change is on the way, and I'm tracking it next.
We're learning more about the suspect who died after police say he shot one of their own in Bourbon County. And 2 men charged in the death of Trinity Gay have been released from jail. The details ahead on WKYT News at 4.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon to you. Amber Philpott reporting Lexington police have just announced a 4th arrest in connection to the shooting death of Trinity Gay. 20-year-old Lamont Williams is charged with wanton endangerment. Police say he was one of 4 men who fired shots outside the Cookout restaurant on South Broadway early Sunday morning. Police say Trinity Gay was caught in the crossfire of that shootout. Police arrested Chazare Taylor, DeMarcio Taylor, and Devonta Middlebrooks on Sunday. All 3 are also charged with wanton endangerment. The Taylors are father and son. Both of them were released from jail today on a $5,000 bond. And we're going to have much more on this story coming up for you. All right, switching now to our weather out there. Another warm day here in the Bluegrass, but changes are on the way. The chance of rain going up and temperatures are going down over the next few days. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Hello.
Hey, Amber. What is not to like again about today? We've said that a lot this fall, haven't we? Another summertime feel to the air and tying a record high a little earlier in Lexington. 84 degrees. We're back there right now. Look at the sky, though. Starting to see a little more of a threatening look to it, to that northwestern horizon. Temperatures generally 80 to 85 across much of central and eastern Kentucky. A couple of 86s, though, now poking in there across southeastern Kentucky. 84 Lexington, tying a record that is also on this date back in 2005 and prior years. Warm air across the Ohio Valley, cooler air to the north. Look at the thunderstorms now beginning to blow up across parts of Indiana into parts of Kentucky. Those are some hefty thunderstorms blowing across Illinois and Indiana right now. We're watching for a few thunder boomers to go up across north central Kentucky, seeing a little action trying to pop here from Williamstown back over toward Newcastle. That is in Henry County. A lot of that stuff, though, having a hard time getting going. Here's a future radar, and as you can see, along and north of 64, as expected, the best chance for a shower or thunderstorm has a nice little complex of storms by late this evening into the north. Then by 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're beginning now to get the impact of the big change that is lurking. Heavy rain, thunder, lightning, gusty winds, and a temperature drop of greater than 30 degrees, and that's all in your Thursday forecast. We'll break down the rest of it, Amber, when I come back in a few.
Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. A man is dead after police say he was after a shooting in Paris with another officer. The overnight shooting started with a burglary investigation on Brent Street. We now know the name of that suspect and the officer who survived being shot. WKYT Sean Moody is in Paris with the details. It's our top story at 4.
This whole neighborhood off Brent Street here in Paris was a huge police scene overnight. Kentucky State Police say Charles Stidham was firing shots at officers, hitting one in his bulletproof vest. It ended around 2 a.m. when state police said they found Stidham dead inside that house after an exchange of gunfire. Kentucky State Police said a Paris police officer and a trooper went to the home on Brent Street last night as part of a burglary investigation. They said once they went inside the house, Stidham shot the Paris officer in the abdomen. His bulletproof vest stopped the bullet. Police sources identified that officer as Abdullah Bola. That began the standoff that lasted into the early morning hours. Police said they were in and out of contact with Stidham while he was inside the house. They say he fired shots at officers through the windows. Around 2 a.m., they said they found him dead inside the house after exchanging gunfire with him. Now, during all that time, several neighbors were evacuated. Others further away stood outside trying to figure out what was happening.
There was one cop right in front of the house that I guess evidently knew the guy for a long time, and he was trying to get him to come out and give himself up and without anybody getting hurt. And that went on for, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, and then the cop came and knocked on the door and asked us to leave.
Coming up later on WKYT News at 5 and 6, you'll hear from other people in the area, including a worker at a salon who said one of the rubber bullets came right through their window. In Paris, Sean Moody, WKYT.
And records from the Bourbon County Detention Center showed Stidham had been booked on several charges over the past few years, including assault and theft. We're working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hello, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. The U.S. Forest Service has closed part of a popular hiking trail in the Red River Gorge due to a wildfire. The forestry officials closed a part of Oxshire Ridge Trail number 204. A Facebook post made by U.S. Forest Service Daniel Boone National Forest says the cause of the fire was an abandoned campfire likely left behind from last weekend. Forestry officials say the dry weather and high wind probably sparked the hot coals that remained from a campfire. The fire is about 50% contained and about 2 acres large. Firefighters are still working to get it under control. We'll have an update on the situation from the Red River Gorge on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. Extra security today on the campus of a Central Kentucky high school. Attendance was also down at Madison Central High after worries about children's safety prompted by rumors. School leaders say a group of students got into a fight at the school last week and were suspended. But then they say rumors spread that there would be another problem among the suspended students when they came back to school today. School leaders say they've talked to the suspended students and their parents and believe everything has been sorted out.
From that has stemmed several rumors about guns coming to school, a shooting during the school day, those kinds of things. As those rumors escalated and became bigger and broader, we decided it was best to go ahead and do some investigating of our own. Our investigations had shown that really this was an unfounded rumor.
Madison County Schools telling us that about 70% of students were at school today, 22% less than the average attendance. We'll have the latest on the investigation ahead on WKYT News at 4:30. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thanks so much. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The stage is set tonight for the final presidential debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and there is a lot for these two candidates to talk about tonight. Karen Kaifa is in Las Vegas with a preview of the event and a look at the topics on the agenda.
Almost as corrupt as crooked Hillary Clinton is the media right back there.
Donald Trump has been on the attack against the Clintons, the media, and what he claims is a rigged election system. Tonight, one final opportunity for voters to compare his candidacy and Hillary Clinton's side by side.
I'm mystified as to why she can't get to those 52, 53% numbers in some of these states, given the disadvantages we're handed every day. And I don't feel sorry for us. I just think that we're going to win this because people love a comeback story.
The comeback would need to materialize quickly. Trump's numbers have slumped in the wake of multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, which he denies. Despite their advantage, the Clinton campaign is exercising caution.
Hillary Clinton has been very disciplined about not just wanting to make the case against Donald Trump, but give people a thing to vote for. That's important, I think, when it comes to governing after the election, so that's what she's going to do tonight.
Clinton has her own topics to tackle, including hacked emails released by WikiLeaks, raising more questions about her use of a private email server as Secretary of State and paid speeches to Wall Street firms. After 2 contentious, sometimes ugly affairs, the Commission on Presidential Debates hopes voters get serious answers tonight.
The next president, whoever he or she is, has a heavy load to carry to get back to having comedy and the two parties working together for the best interest of the American people.
In Las Vegas, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Tonight's debate will last 90 minutes, divided into 6 15-minute segments. Fox News anchor Chris Wallace will be the moderator. The bodies of 2 scuba divers have been pulled from a popular underwater cave near Tampa Bay. It's called Eagle's Nest, and it attracts divers from all over the world. The intricacies of the caves can be navigated safely, but only by highly trained divers. Over the past 30 years, at least 10 divers have died there, including a man from Kentucky. 34-year-old James Woodall, II from Richmond, died there while diving with a friend in 2009. How Samsung is helping customers exchange their Galaxy Note 7. That's coming up in WKYT Money Watch. And headache medicine Excedrin tweets about the upcoming presidential debate. That's coming up.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back in. Yahoo's revenue plunged in the last quarter, its first report since admitting to a massive data breach back in 2014. That begins today's Money Watch. CEO Marissa Mayer canceled the usual earnings conference call with reporters. That means there are few details about the hack and when the company first knew about it. Yahoo is in the process of being sold to Verizon. Holiday spending is expected to increase this season, but you may not see a lot of extra holiday help on the sales floor. Analysts say consumers are doing more of their holiday buying online instead of the mall. Still, they anticipate retailers to hire about 700,000 workers this holiday season. Samsung is making it easy for some flyers to ditch their dangerous Galaxy Note 7 phones before boarding a flight. Exchange booths have been popping up at airports around the world since the device was recalled after reports of overheating and fires. In the U.S., federal officials have banned the devices from flights. And another change is coming to the sky. 60,000 Delta Airlines employees will be wearing new uniforms created by New York fashion designer Zach Posen. The airline plans to start rolling out the new outfits in early 2017. Excedrin hits the nail on the aching head with a pre-debate tweet. The company tweeted, "It's not an ordinary debate, so don't use just any pain relief. #debate headache." Apparently, a lot of people agree. The tweet quickly received more than 1,000 likes and hundreds of retweets, and #debate headache started trending on Twitter. Messages promoting a product rarely do well on Twitter, but this one was an exception. And M&M's will soon have a new flavor for you, caramel. It's a tasty addition to its milk chocolate, peanut, and peanut butter flavors. A Mars chocolate researcher says caramel is the fastest growing segment in food right now. The caramel M&M's are expected to hit store shelves in May.
We are at Darkwood Carnival, part of Wicked World. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about with some new friends today. More when we return here on WKYT.
Hey, she fits right in with those friends. Rolling our way tomorrow, we've got some scary weather. All right, at least something to talk about tomorrow with rain and much colder weather. We'll break that down hour by hour in just a moment.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Sunny, windy, warm out there again today, though more clouds, and we did have an isolated shower thunderstorm a little earlier, and that's a sign of those changes that are finally getting into town as we go into the day on Thursday. Right now, look at those skies that are out there showing up. Well, it's one sky, but different sky cams. More in the way of clouds, just like yesterday into Florence compared to southern and southeastern parts of the state, where we've got middle 80s that are showing up. Until we get to Covington, it's only 78 degrees. That's where we have a little weak boundary that is right on top of northern Kentucky as of now. That front is trying to drop toward the south, but that ridge of high pressure across the southeastern seaboard pushing back on that. You got to wait until you get the second push of colder air to crank up that low, and that comes as we go into the day tomorrow. Let's talk about the stuff that's out there right now. Defender Radar Network. Notice how southern, southeastern Kentucky, well, you don't have a whole lot of cloud cover at all. You get into central Kentucky, northern parts of the area, and especially to the north. Some big-time thunderstorms are lurking north of Louisville, and we're going to likely fire up some scattered stuff here in the northern parts of the area, and already seeing some stuff from around Mount Olivet, Robertson County, back over toward the Owen County area, not too far from Newcastle there into Henry County. So folks around Sadieville, Cynthiana, you got a better shot than, let's say, Lexington and points to the south. Now, end of the day tomorrow, temperatures will spike up. You got widespread showers, thunderstorms that will increase, and then the thermometers really take a big nosedive. So rain, thunderstorms likely tomorrow, gusty winds, falling numbers. Friday, rain in the morning. Sun into the afternoon, and all day long it is windy, blustery for the first time this year. Temperatures in the 50s. Saturday, cold start in the 30s. Winds are going to crank up again, and those temperatures back into the 50s for an afternoon high. Hour by hour forecast. 8 o'clock this evening, northern Kentucky, primary player in terms of a shower or thunderstorm. If you wake up with dry weather tomorrow morning, it's not going to end that way. Noontime, showers, thunderstorms are increasing. Those winds are going to gust up. Second half of the day, got to be on guard for a strong thunderstorm or two to go up. Hail, some high winds would be a possibility as this little line of thunderstorms zips its way into parts of eastern Kentucky. And look at the numbers by 8 o'clock, dropping quickly. We see more in the way of gusty showers into early Friday. That could be a nice soaking rain into parts of central and eastern Kentucky. Friday's temperatures, as the sun makes an appearance into the afternoon, will be generally into the mid and upper 50s, gusty northwesterly winds, and the numbers drop from there. And look at what you wake up to as we go into Saturday morning. A lot of mid and upper 30s that will be showing up across the entire area. So here's that 7-day forecast. And again, you're going to see the temperatures drop. After that, though, pleasant weather, dare I say normal for October, Sunday, Monday, into the first half of next week. Right now, that looks like a very strong possibility. Let's check in now with Officer Don and live drive traffic.
We will try to call Officer Don back. Well, there is a place in town hoping to spook you during this Halloween season. It's called Wicked World, where some of the creatures are quite wicked. Deanne Stevens is out and about today showing us around. Hello, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys. We are here at Wicked World, and I'm in a place called Darkwood Carnival, one of the haunted houses here, part of Wicked World. Dean Stevens is with us, and I said, you're just one letter off, right, Dean?
Exactly.
Tell us, Wicked World, you said this is the 6th year you guys have been here.
Yeah, we've been at this location for 6 years. This is actually our 12th season in the business. So.
And I understand you are breaking record the amount of people that have been here this season already.
Yeah, long as the weather holds out for us, we should be in good shape. You know, record crowds every weekend. So
that's kind of key, isn't it?
It is.
All right, we're talking haunted. I mean, you guys have some scary different things to show. Tell us what all folks see as part of this.
Well, obviously we're standing in front of the Darkwood Carnival here. This is our trail. It's our only outdoor attraction. We also have 2 indoor attractions. We got the Mercy Hospital, which is a 1950 hospital theme, and we also have Quarantine, which is a military zombie theme that sits in the back of the property.
And people just kind of walk through it?
Oh, yeah.
Or run through it? I'd be running through it.
Exactly. Yeah, we give options. You know, you can do 1 haunted house, 2 or 3. We got prices for all 3, so.
Okay, and I understand. I feel a little something following me. Who is this? Who is my new friend?
This is Rhodey. He's part of the carnival here. So
hey, Rhodey.
This is kind of his home.
This is his. I'm good, Rhodey. What do you have in your jar there, buddy?
We got a little moonshine, calm some nerves for those that are nervous.
Give it to me.
All right, down by the pond, darling.
Is that where you hang out?
That's where I hang out. It's
down
nice and romantic.
That's where you belong, Rhodey. Okay, let's move over here and see some of our other characters. Who are these people that we're hanging out with here?
We got Lucius here.
Yeah. Hi, Lucius.
Hello.
They're all dressed up for me today. And who else? A clown? Is a clown safe these days?
As long as he stays here, I think he'll be fine.
Okay, keep it around here and over here.
We got Regine.
Regine, you act like I should have known that. Okay, listen, you guys are open Thursday through Sunday, so you can come and be scared if you want. Coming up at 4:50, we have more from Wicked World here. And by the way, they're located all the way out Tate's Creek Road. I'm Deanne Stevens. Happy Halloween, I guess. Back to you guys. Woo!
Get out of there quick, Deanne. All right, you can watch TV in HD. Now you can brush your teeth in HD as well. How this new toothpaste can help prevent heart attacks, coming up in Better Living. And tonight's Powerball jackpot is $136 million, and Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $25 million. It is time now for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. It's flu season, and it's time to get that all-important flu shot. The Lexington and Fayette County Health Department will be giving out free flu shots tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. You can get your flu shot at Consolidated Baptist Church, the Andrews Center on Russell Cave Road, or at Southland Christian Church on Richmond Road. The flu shot is recommended for anyone older than 6 months. A new type of toothpaste aims to combat heart attacks and strokes. There's a new toothpaste that shows users where plaque is hiding, and scientists say it also has another benefit, reducing inflammation that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. Florida researchers tested participants for a protein that signals inflammation. They had them brush with the Plaque HD for about 2 months. Researchers found the protein numbers after brushing were significantly lower. The CDC is asking states to create school programs that put sealants on children's teeth. Less than half of all school-aged children get sealants, which protect against 50% of cavities. Low-income children are 20% less likely to have coelands than higher-income children. A first-of-its-kind study finds genes may play a role in whether some women will experience an uncomfortable symptom of menopause. Chris Martinez has more now from Los Angeles.
Like many women, Betty Glick has experienced hot flashes from menopause.
The immediate thing is just feeling flush with heat. And for me, it's normally from the neck up. I immediately start to sweat.
New research suggests genetics may determine which women suffer with the common menopause symptom. Researchers at UCLA looked at data from nearly 18,000 postmenopausal women and found women who had gene variants that affect a part of the brain that regulates estrogen were more likely to have hot flashes.
The first study ever done to look across the whole genome for hot flashes and night sweats.
It's estimated more than 70% of women experience hot flashes and night sweats.
Researchers say the findings could lead to new treatments to help relieve menopause symptoms.
It'll lead us to figuring out the biological mechanism for hot flashes. If we know what the mechanism is, then maybe we can help create some therapies.
Betty was on hormone replacement therapy for a few years, but stopped the treatment. She still suffers through flashes.
It's like so many things. You just sort of learn how to cope.
She says there is one thing that makes her feel better.
This is my fan.
So she makes sure she has it handy when she feels a flash coming on. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Researchers found the gene variants were present across all ethnicities. All right, let's head over to Chris for another check of that weather, and we're about to see some big changes coming our way, right?
Yeah, those changes arrive late tonight, early tomorrow with an increase in showers and thunderstorms. Then the temperatures go way down in the coming days. Right now, those temperatures are way up. A lot of mid-80s this afternoon into central and eastern Kentucky. Records are falling into parts of the region this afternoon. This is some of the warmest air you're going to find this time of year across the entire area. Notice a little more cloud cover, though, showing up to our north. We've got some showers and thunderstorms that we will track in for part of your Wednesday evening. But when I come back in just a few minutes, we will focus on Thursday and a busy, busy day in terms of the weather. WKYT News at 4:30 starts now.